The moment I opened the door, my wife's voice cracked through the house like glass. Who is she? What's going on? Her face, red, trembling, desperate, was almost theatrical. The woman standing beside me didn't flinch. She walked in, slowly, confident, composed. I smiled, calm as a surgeon before the incision. You've already met her technically, I said. Just not like this. My wife's breath caught. What? The woman extended her hand. I'm Laura Roberts' wife. Robert, my wife's boss, her lover. The air went dead. My wife froze. Her hand dropped from the banister like she'd been shot. And in that silence, my revenge began breathing on its own. Claire and I had been married 8 years. The kind of marriage people call stable, because they can't tell it's dying. We met when I was still building my firm. Long nights, ramen dinners, shared ambitions. She stood by me through everything, or so I thought. Success changed the temperature of our house. Got busier. She got colder. I mistook her distance for exhaustion. She called space. Then came him, Robert, her boss. Twice her age, twice as charming, and apparently twice as interesting. She came home from work dinners smelling like cologne I didn't own, laughing at jokes I hadn't told, sleeping farther away each night. I told myself not to imagine things, but betrayal doesn't need imagination, just observation. The proof arrived like a gift wrapped in arrogance. A message flashed on her smartwatch while she was in the shower. Last night was dangerous and worth it. I stared at it until the letters blurred. Then I took a screenshot. That night I checked her phone. Hidden folder, messages, receipts, photos. Paris hotel bookings labeled work trip. Every team dinner was a date. Every late meeting was an affair. I remember standing in the hallway, lights off, phone in hand, heart silent. I didn't confront her. I didn't rage. I just whispered to myself, noted. And from that moment forward, I wasn't her husband. I was her reckoning. My revenge wasn't fire. It was code, structured, precise. Step 1, information. I traced Robert's digital footprint, company, records, credit trails, emails. Learned everything. Who he answered to, who funded him, who didn't know about her. Step 2, leverage. Turns out, Robert's wife, Laura, wasn't just a spouse. She was the majority shareholder, the quiet power behind his empire. Step 3, introduction. I met Laura at a charity gala. She recognized my name, smiled politely, mentioned my wife worked for her husband. I nodded. Yes, I said. They're quite close. I saw her eyes narrow, curiosity blooming like a spark. Step 4, collaboration. Over coffee the next week, I showed her the proof. Every message, every lie. She didn't cry. She took out her phone, took photos and said, I want in. Step 5, timing. We waited 2 months long. Enough for Robert to commit a fatal corporate mistake. A hidden account, fraudulent reimbursements linked to his personal travel expenses my wife approved. When it was ready, I let it unfold naturally. On the day I came home with Laura, Robert was at work, blissfully unaware that his wife had already seized control of his company's accounts. Claire was at home scrolling through Instagram, pretending life was perfect. When I walked in with Laura, everything inside her collapsed at once. Shock, guilt, fear. Laura set her bag down and looked around. Nice place, she said, her tone surgical, almost identical to the one Robert rented in Milan. Same color curtains, too. Claire's voice cracked. Please, this isn't it is. I cut in. Every hotel, every lie, every dollar recorded and shared. She turned to me, tears welling. You told her. I showed her. I said, she deserved to know who she married. Just like I did. The next morning, the news broke. Robert resigned. Personal misconduct. A leaked audit showed misuse of funds, falsified travel expenses, and inappropriate employee relationships. Claire was named in the report. Terminated, no severance, no reference, nothing. By evening, Robert's wife was CEO and his ex. When Claire showed up at my office that night, I swollen, shaking. I didn't look up from my desk. You destroyed me, she whispered. No, I said calmly. You self-destructed. I just handed you the mirror. She dropped to her knees, sobbing, begging for another chance. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Then I remembered the nights I waited up, her phone lighting the room, while I pretended to be asleep. I spent years building a life with you. I said, you spent months selling it for tension. Now we're even. She reached for my hand. I stood up, walked past her, and said the line I'd been saving since that first message. Tell your boss's ex-wife. I said hello. It's been a year. The scandal made headlines. Robert vanished from the corporate world. Claire moved out of state. Laura, she's thriving, quiet, powerful. We still talk sometimes, not as co-conspirators, but as survivors of the same lie. Revenge didn't feel like fire. Felt like balance, like breathing air. That finally belonged to me again. Didn't need to scream, break things, or beg for justice. I just needed patience. Because the thing about betrayal is it burns fast, but exposure that burns forever. She thought she could hide her affair in the dark. I just turned on the lights and invited his wife to